That's me, Nathan Smith. I am the manager and resident of the Sunshine Hotel. I've been on the Bowery for more than 20 years. I left my broom out here. I don't see it. Now they took that. Oh, God. I gotta go around now and find my broom. Oh, man. Jeez, these guys are really dogs, man. This place is killing me. Now they took I kept my broom, my personal broom, I kept it in the room, you know, because it's a nice straw broom, you know. Now I see it's gone. I left it out here and I walked. Things grow legs around here and they disappear. What you have one day, you don't have the next. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Can't keep this, I can't keep that. I don't know how long this place will last. This is the Sunshine Hotel. This is commonly known as a flop. There used to be over 200 of these hotels, but today the demographics of the Bowery are changing. And as a result, you only have 8 of these places left, the Sunshine among them. Bruce Davis, cubicle 4L, on the Bowery for 15 years. Bruce is the hotel runner. He doesn't actually work for the hotel. He's what you might call self-employed. He'll go here or there picking up this or that for a small gratuity. In a hotel like this, you get a lot of guys that never go outside.
I was born in Memphis, Tennessee, to a very powerful military man. That's about all I want to say about him. He and I still think the world of each other, admire each other on that, but we were just too different. We went our own separate ways a long time ago. That's about all I want to say about him. I was well raised, always well provided for. Houses with an attic, a basement, 2 stories, big yards, nice neighborhoods. I'd go every Christmas. I'd have a pile of toys like that. On one extreme, very spoiled. On the other extreme, very disciplined. A very good upbringing. We still think the world of each other, but we're just too different. I don't want to have anything to do with my family anymore.
Food downstairs.
Food downstairs.
L.A. Nelson, cubicle 4A, on the Bowery for 21 years.
If you want to know about me, the man, L.A. Nelson, you got to go way back and bring it up. I did 2 tours now. Well, number 1, I stepped on a mine, rice paddy, it jammed. And it threw me about maybe 30 or 40 feet. I laid up in the hospital. It kind of did something to my nerves a little bit. I became paranoid on all that, sketchy and all that. And this is the one reason why I don't go back into show business now, because I'm at the point now where I really don't trust nobody.
Wait right there, man. Wait right there for Nepty. Wait there for Nepty, man. Yeah, wait right there for Nepty. Yeah, wait right there for Nepty.
Sure, I will.
Yes, sir.
My apologies. I'll have you know, he's a good man at heart. At heart, he's a good man.
Let's put it like this, in a more expensive hotel, or a real hotel, as it were, you know, not one of these places where you live in cubicles, but a real hotel where you live in rooms, you can essentially have the same kind of people if they have money, but you don't see them, you know? You don't come in contact with them, you know, if you work there as part of the personnel of the hotel itself, you don't necessarily see the people. They come to the desk, get their key, go to their room, and that's the end of that. And you don't hear anything about them, except like what happened at the Waldorf here. It was last month. They found this guy dead in the Waldorf, and the Waldorf doesn't, you know, like things like that, finding dead bodies around it, you know. So they try to, you know, keep a low profile on that sort of thing, you know. We used to have doctors, former doctors, lawyers. I mean, people from all walks of life have lived in this hotel. And they all departed from their families for one reason or another. Their families might have put them out. When I lived in the Union Hotel, which is about 6 blocks down the street, a kid moved in there, a young kid, nice kid, very nice. But the thing is, he happened to be addicted to garlic. And he told me his shot of garlic was 25 cloves a day. He actually got high on 25 cloves of garlic. But when you take that much garlic, as delicious as garlic makes some foods taste, when you take garlic in the prodigious amounts like that, it has a tendency to permeate your body. In other words, in the pores, on your skin. And as a consequence, this guy, he smelled up the whole floor, a horrible smell. He was a nice guy. He couldn't, his mother and his father threw him out. He couldn't stay in school, and he couldn't work because of the smell of garlic. Vic, room LW, clerk and resident on the Bowery for 38 years. Vic is, or should I say was, a self-taught student of philosophy. But as with so many others, the weight of his own thoughts were too great.
Even years after I was on the Bowery, I wasn't really a drinker, believe it or not. It gradually set in and then escalated. And then it got to be kind of like a rocket. Really take off. Like I remember times I swore, man, I'm feeling terrible. No more of that darn drinking. Forget about it. Alcohol, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to look at it. Forget about it. I'm not having another drink for a long, long, long time. I mean, almost indefinitely. At least not for a half hour, 45 minutes.
Like I see the same people in the lobby every day because that's the beer crowd. In other words, they sit around drinking beer all day. Beer, vodka, or whatever, all day. I try to enforce, minimize drinking in the lobby, but they drink nevertheless. You know, I mean, it's... In other words, you have your hands full here, trying to maintain a sense of decorum. The fire department stresses no smoking and so forth, even though I'm smoking myself, but I happen to be a cigarette addict, you know. I smoke. I tell myself I'm going to quit, you know, which I will one of these days, you know, unless the cigarettes quit me, you know.
Bring a piece of tissue.
25 cents a slice. Can't get nothing. People have a tendency to take the entire roll, you know, and to their room, you know, depriving others of using the bathroom. So now, rather than have it on the rolls, they pile it up here, you know, and they come to the desk and get it. I don't know whether it actually, in fact, this way uses more than the rolls themselves, you know. But when you put them in the bathroom, the rolls disappear. So you end up putting rolls in the bathrooms all day, you know? So what are you gonna do? It's that kind of place. But a place like this is really, it has a particular level of stress. This is one of the stresses of this place, Tyrone. We call him one can carry because all he can drink is one can of beer. He has some sort of chemical imbalance and spends the whole day in the lobby ranting.
What you do like there, girl? What you there do? What? No, I'm behind me, girl. Wait. He's a young, pretty motherfucker thing. What? I want what? I never want nothing. What? Never want nothing. Never want nothing. Never want nothing. How about your heart, though? Is it beating? Is your heart beating? Heart beating, though. I know what I like to say.
Ray, he left the Sunshine in 1992. He was on the Bowery for 13 years.
Mindset, man. Depends on how you start this race. How'd you start off running this race? Did you start off with a full deck, or did you have about a whole suit missing somewhere when you started? You may not be able to do anything about mental illness, but you don't feed into it. But motherfucker standing here like Napoleon, don't salute the motherfucker, even jokingly. Hey, Nap, no, don't, because this reinforces his shit to the degree, and that's how you have to act with mental. I won't reinforce it. I will not accept it. I will tell him at every turn, because if you let him go to sleep, that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna do sleep. Because this is part of that. This environment puts you to sleep, man. Motherfucker, bring food to Meals on Wheels. Meals on Wheels. Fuck it, man. Nathan, go get Bruce. Go here, go there. That's not how men operate. Men are motion people. We move around. I try to embarrass them, you know, out of this shit. Anybody. I don't give a fuck who it is. Anybody. You acting stupid. You're a stupid motherfucker. And they get mad. They want to fight and everything. But they don't want to fight me. They don't want to fight me. They want to fight themselves. And they can't fight themselves because they've got defenses.
I have had an alcohol problem most of my adult, not most of my adult life, I built it up most of my life, but the last many years I've had an alcohol problem. The problem was that I just simply overdid it. I'm not one of these gonna wind up in a gutter and suck on wine just because wine is God. I'm not one of them kind of alcoholics. I've got to unwind. I've got to unwind, and I've only got like seconds to do it. I'm overdoing it. I don't want to advertise beer as the only solution. No. You get in a tension situation like that, the best thing to do is just attitude. Change your mind. Make yourself relax. You will enjoy it even better. Life is better than artificial substances, pure and simple. This one's easy and quick for me, so I drink a lot.
These are the cubicles. They're all 4x6. They're not considered legal rooms because they have wire on the top rather than a ceiling, you know. There's 83 of them altogether. My room is actually a room because I have a ceiling rather than chicken wire. This building used to be, they say, back in the 20s, it used to be a pickle factory. This building is actually 100 years old. 100 years old. This is Lee, our fabulous porter.
Oh, I work here 5 days a week. Yeah. I used to live here one time back in 96.
On March 17th, he met a young lady, graduate pharmacist. 6 weeks later, they were married. As a result of Oswald...
Tony Bell, cubicle 23A on the Bowery for 15 years.
The family broke up. All of the family distorted. After mother died, the house just completely went berserk. Everybody went their own way. My sisters and brothers, I have in the city here, but I do not know where they are living or if they passed away or what. They got their own families, their babies or kids, whatever, and I haven't seen them in over 20-some years. So I don't know exactly how to go about reaching them or getting in contact with them. So I end up here after my health went bad. I end up here on the Bowery, which I got a room here, and I've been here for the last 15 years. But I would like to find them again if it was possible through the 1-800 search. But like I said, living here is a little difficult for me because they have a lot of problems here. Drinking, guys sick and using narcotics and whatnot. So I can never concentrate. Being I'm 65 now, I can hardly concentrate on myself. I hate for my family ever to find out that I've end up here with my life all messed up.
The way I figure, if a person has more ability or talent, in a way, it would seem like that imposes a responsibility to do more for others. When I was a bit younger and more optimistic, and more confident, then I'm sure I would have ventured much more. Not to say I'd have been right, but what a person believes at the time. And that's another way the reason or whatever, that I was pissed off at myself. Became pretty fucking angry, venomously enraged. Whether at myself, things in general, whatever.
This is the only hotel left that has dormitories. Cashmere, dorm bed 214 on the Bowery for 5 years.
My mother and them, they didn't really approve of me being like that. So what happened was I had left home, came to the city, started hanging out with the wrong type of crowd. Didn't have nowhere to go. Didn't have nobody who cared. Then I started, picking up tricks, guys, for money. Every night I would pick up like about $200 a night. I would go and pay for my room, buy my cosmetic, my makeup, my clothes. Then the next day I would get up and do the same thing again. It was like I had no life, until I found God, because right now, with the predicament that I'm in, I don't want to go to hell. But so far I've been lucky, I've been very lucky because I never had a disease. I've never been with herpes. I never had syphilis. I never had AIDS. Thank God. And I did a lot of unprotected sex. A lot of sex unprotected.
The Sunshine is owned by the Bowery family. They don't take much of an active role in running the hotel. They pretty much leave that to me.
What's Al's rent?
Al,
$51.
56. His rent's 56.
Where did that figure come from?
$8. $8, yeah. He goes back a long way, yeah. No, 56.
56.
Yeah. I straightened out with him a long time ago, So,
straightened out with that.
Well, no,
Anton find out he gonna get.
No, he's been here. That was his rent. In other words, if a guy has been here.
Like rent control?
Yeah, in other words, if he's been here, I don't,
Right, that's
I don't, no. A new tenant pays the new rent. A new But the old tenants don't pay
Man,
that.
this ain't no housing complex. This is a hotel.
No, the point is,
when
you like, in other words, I already tried it. You can't, if a guy's paying $215, he ain't gonna jump up and pay no $270.
So
you know?
then he go home.
No, but it don't work like that. It don't work
like
like
every other hotel in the world.
No, it really don't work here like that.
Oh.
It don't work like that. It really don't.
Don't work like that where?
It don't work like that here.
Here. Right.
You have to.
You are.
No.
You a good man. I'm not saying.
No, I'm saying.
Wrong,
yeah, he's the one that makes the rents, not me. I don't make the rents. Frank makes the rents.
No, I don't think. Frank
No. Yo, yes, he does. He reads this book just like everything. Yes, he does.
Can't nobody read
Frank reads this book.
Can't nobody read that.
Frank reads the book.
That book is
Anton reads it, and Frank reads it.
That book is wrong.
No. What happened? You want to give me some money?
Yes, sir.
I'm always good. I'm always ready for that.
Something happened real good.
Yeah. All that's good.
My job responsibilities start with one idea for sure. I am handling other people's money. You do not make a mistake. You have to fight like hell to keep from making a mistake. Mainly, you have to defend their money better than you would defend your own money. You can't miss a detail. Okay, you miss a detail, you've lost the customer. When I go across traffic, pedestrian traffic, I'll have to explain later, but you'll be safe there. When I go across automobile traffic, I am very safe and I'm outright polite, but I push my way through. I literally control the traffic as I go through. My main signal I give them as I go through traffic is I'm going fast enough, you don't gotta worry about me. You guys aren't used to that, and you guys are gonna be carrying that equipment. Do not cross a street unless I tell you to. I'm your traffic director when we get to the street. You guys will be in danger. I'm a small man, 5'9". I've got short legs, but I learned many years ago, stretch my steps. You ought to see me move when I move. I'm pumping my legs anyway. I walk faster than most people run.
Bruce, check this out.
Yeah.
You need a box, camel box, and 2 regular, no sugar.
The only thing you got to worry about here is speed. You got to cross one street. When I get there and tell you to stay till I get across. Okay, let's go. Steps, slippery. Steps, slippery. Watch every single one as you go. Okay. Now you got a customer waiting. We got a straightaway. We only got to cross one street. Make time. Stretch your legs out. Sit right alongside me with a camera. You ain't doing bad. A customer is very pleased by speed, and 2, you get to spend more time in the lobby and draw more runs. Let's move. Very athletic work, and you can walk faster than most people can run. Come on. Okay. If you can save a step, do. They add up. Over years and years, they add up. Now let's move. This is illegal, but these officers in this area know me, so they don't really bother me too much anymore. Walk signal, jog a little bit. Walk signal, jog a little bit. Okay, you got it? We gotta get across this street. Walk signal. You ought to see the long ones in 3 directions. They get funny. Okay. See that white sign up there? We just gotta go like 1 door past there. Getting winded, right? You gotta be willing to do this 15 hours a day. You wanna work for yourself. Always courteous. Any traffic, pedestrian or automobiles. It's not how fast you go or how slow you go. It's teamwork, coordination. That's how you open up your fast lane. And you damn straight you owe it to them. But once you got their courtesy shown, you move. Right. Short, simple run. You won't really get the full taste, but you're starting to get the idea. You're starting to get the idea. Okay. 2 Camels lights in a box and 1 coffee. They're filming a documentary. Little advertising. 2 Camel lights in a box and 1 coffee.
2 Camel lights in the box?
Yeah, and 1 coffee, regular, no sugar.
2 Camel lights in the box?
Yeah. Regular, no sugar. Best I can remember, 2 camels and 1 coffee.
2 buses, 2 camels, right? You
Yeah,
sure?
yeah.
You sure?
Cheating up right now. You got the camera on.
7:30. 7:30.
Yeah. Oh,
You
7:30.
only give me $5.
That's what he asked. I knew I forgot one of them. 1 camel, 1 coffee. He only gave me 5. Okay, I'm trying to concentrate on this thing right now. I'm trying to concentrate on this thing right now.
You see?
1 camel, 1 coffee.
$3.90.
All right. Do I usually make mistakes like that?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Right there.
No, I don't. All right. We work together and we get to know each other. It's very personal business. Very personal business. We can make a lot of friends this way. We make a lot of friends this way. Okay,
It's a good
350.
man. It's a good man.
Okay, you guys ready? We're ready to go back. Made one mistake. I'm trying to concentrate on handling you guys, and I forgot which one he wanted to, which one he wanted one. That was all. We have got to watch where we're stepping. You do a lot of walking backwards. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. We got, stretch your legs, stretch your steps. I'm gonna stop you for 1 second when we get up here. I've got a beauty of a New York thing going on here. Okay, slow down, slow down. You gotta stop and remember to smell the roses. Look at this damn garden they've got here. Every single plant is different, and they are embattled by the new laws. The new laws are trying to take this away from them without them having any say-so. Look at what they're doing for New York. Look, ain't this beautiful? Every single plant is different. I'll see if I can find somebody who works here. I'll try and get a word from them. This is a beautiful piece of New York. I pass this every single day, many times a day, many times. Look at that traffic, that pollution out there. I'll come back here to this fence and just breathe air. This is a jungle. Excuse me, do you work here?
Yes, I'm sorry. We'll have to ask to leave.
Oh, what I was trying to, I heard you guys, I got on.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
I was trying to help out. I heard you guys were in battle legally. I was trying to help out. I heard you guys were in battle legally. You guys don't have any legal problems,
No,
right?
we have none.
Oh, I'm sorry. They had a poster up down here just a few weeks ago.
That's not us.
Okay, okay. Well, I appreciate it. I was telling them how wonderful I love your garden. I enjoyed the hell out of that garden. I enjoyed the hell out of that garden. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Wasn't that a beautiful garden? Every single plant is different. I didn't know they were that sensitive. And I thought they were in legal trouble. Advertising. This is where I advertise at. Everybody, I sit here because as long as it's in this area so they can see me from up there. It lets them know I'm available. It brings ideas to their mind. Maybe they could use a run. Okay, that's it. Waiting for the next run.
Welcome to my hovel. I've had this room since the old manager, Ole, put a pillow over his head and blew his brains out in the very bed that I sleep in to this day. I did, however, change the mattress. This room could be very lovely just as a, like a furniture, because when I first moved in there, it was nice. The dresser was empty. There was nothing on the dresser. I got a chair here, but it wasn't made for living. I mean, in terms of, doing something other than sleeping. And without books, what do you expect? Yeah, books and shit like that, artifacts. Artifacts make a difference. In the early 60s, I was a lounge piano player. I had a manager, Peter Leeds. Peter got me work all over town. In fact, the last job I had was at the Playboy Club. Between gigs, I was driving a cab, yellow cab. And one night I went up to Jilly's to look for some business. And I see some people coming down the stairs, so I pulled right up. I figured they wanted a cab. They opened the door and got in and so forth. And I was pulling off, and I looked up through the rearview mirror, and I saw Craig Tennis. He was in the back seat with Johnny Carson, because Johnny Carson, Ed McMahon, and Craig Tennis. They all came out of Jilly's together, you know? Johnny lived in the United Nations Plaza at the time, you know? I mean, in the United Nations apartments. So Ed McMahon said, look, he says, I don't want you to go straight to the building. Ride through the park a few times, you know, let Johnny try to get himself together. You know, he was wasted, you know. Johnny did like this, laid down and, you know, across the back seat, you know. Johnny laid down, you know, across the back seat, and Ed McMahon was in the front seat. So we're driving along, and all of a sudden Johnny wakes up. And apparently he looks out the window and he sees the trees flying by, and he says to Ed McMahon, yo, Ed, this nigga's trying to kidnap me. That was funny as hell. It didn't offend me at all. It didn't offend me. I mean, I broke up, you know. Ed McMahon, he tried to apologize, you know, for Johnny. I said, that's all right, Ed. I said, hey, I'm not offended. I thought that was pretty funny, you know, it really was. It really was. That was, yeah. He swore that I was kidnapping him because all he could see was the trees outside the cab, you know.
This is New York City, the way it was when the Bowery was the Bowery, the way people like to remember it. You are here. At one time, the Bowery was as highbrow as Fifth Avenue. But after they put up the elevated train line, those kinds of people stopped coming. It became a haven of sin. Under the darkness of the L, gin mills and flophouses flourished. The Bowery became synonymous with drunks sleeping in doorways, cheap entertainment, and accommodation. They say that 25,000 men slept on the Bowery each night. As a kid, I used to come down here when I would play hooky, steal candy on Pitt Street, and hang out in the park around the corner from the L. But gone are those days. The last few gin mills closed up over a decade ago. The cabarets are a thing of the past. They tore the L down decades ago. What was left once the light hit the Bowery again was a scarred street in the death throes of time.
See, I've only been in 3 hotels since I've been down here. That's when this place was like on the downfall of what it was. This has been my base off and on, I would say, for the past 12 years. Right here.
The Bowery is like most people thought of it. You know, people drunk, sleeping on the sidewalks and so on, but through the years it changed. Very, very, very much. Been changing continuously, been upgrading.
What's the biggest change?
Maybe most of the alcoholics died off or reformed, a few of them. Went elsewhere, who knows?
This street in France, this is known as the Street of Lights because of all the light stores they have here. You know, they have these expensive light stores. They put up chandeliers, the whole 9 yards. So in France, with the France Tourist Bureau, I saw one of the ads. Bowery is known as the Street of Lights. They use it as a commercial expediency, you know, to call it. It sounds better to call it the Street of Lights rather than the home of the flops, you know. the kind of men that were drawn to the Bowery, as I saw it, and during the time that I came myself, were predominantly alcoholics, you know, and people with medical problems and things like that, or social misfits. I first came to the Bowery because I lost my apartment, you know, as simple as that. The landlord came in with a dispossess and threw me out, you know, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, you go with the flow, you know. In other words, hey, you know, you're on the Bowery, so you're on the Bowery, you know. I mean, what do you want, you know? So I had to make the best of it, you know. If I had my druthers, I'd druther not be here. I'll tell you that. This whole area changed from 10 years ago. It's totally changed, you know.
What was it like 10 years ago?
Rampant drugs. Rampant. I mean, you can sit out here in the park on the bench over here and watch the show. I used to do it. Get a cup of coffee, a couple of Danish, and watch the show.
That's what the Bowery is. It's not being down here on this street with no money, with nowhere to stay. People have been in that situation all their lives, and they'll do what they have to do. But the Bowery is a mentality. I'm so sick of it, don't give a fuck, I don't even care about me. You know, when you walk past bag people and that stench comes out, that's purposeful. I mean, it's a problem not bathing, but they don't want you near them. They want it to turn you off. Get away from me. I'm so afraid, I'm so disgusted, or whatever. Get away from me.
The only advice I have is I do take a drink, because the people here, some of the guys, they go to the bathroom and they take piss in the face basin where you wash the face. So usually I keep Clorox here. So I gotta go up and wash up my face, and on this side of the face, I gotta pull Clorox and wash that face basin when you wash the face in, because they piss in it sometimes. I do occasionally take a drink, like I told you, just because that they piss in there and then they hop and they floor them down the hall. That's them devices. That's the only one I got is the booze. I do drink a little bit here, because sometimes they fighting and going crazy, arguing and whatnot. And that kind of gets on your nerves, especially an older person like me. It gets on my nerves. It hurts sometimes.
Hold it, gentlemen, 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 gentlemen. Yo, gentlemen, 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 gentlemen. Please, my heart.
They're all Vietnamese, you know, the cons. They be talking through these speakers. They question, why are you here for? I mean, when you get back to the United States, what are they gonna do for you? They say, you're still a slave. When you go back, you're gonna be a slave. Now, what you gonna do when you go home? Still gonna call you a nigga. You don't get no job. Your fellow Yankees. I mean, they don't like the idea you coming over here. When you go home, you're not gonna get no ticket tape parade. They're gonna throw things at you. Because you're over here, meaningless, none of your business. It turned out that it was right.
Here in this room, just lay here and just nobody to talk to, nobody I can go see or visit. There's nothing. There's plain nothing here. I wish it could be a little bit more better. And maybe my health will come up a little more, continue. But here worrying every day is not gonna help. You go through, like I said, the same procedure every day, over and over. I doubt if anybody doubt this door. 3 months, out of 3 months, 10 times. Nobody come in out of here for 3 months, 10 times out of a month. I guess you can call me a loner, but this is it down in this area. I mean, you get too friendly, you get in trouble. Down here, the people here don't recognize being nice. They like to more, fight for whatever they fighting for. But like I said, that's something I usually say by myself. I don't go out with too many girls, no girls, period, since my wife. So that's been a long time since I had the sex. And I'm afraid of that now too, because I don't know where the AIDS is, I don't know where the AIDS or the cancer, the prostate cancer, whatever, all these diseases floating. I don't know what I can get, so womenly, I don't chase anymore. I'm a little too old anyway, but like I said, I don't do much more of that chasing now.
Were you ever married?
Mm-mm. I'm too unnatural for that. I couldn't have afforded it. Never made enough money for it, for one thing, and I had psychological blocks. Something. Fooled around a little. Got pickpocketed by a hooker. Or a couple. That was enough for me. Well, some of the hookers were nice, though. But for regular gals, I probably didn't have enough confidence or so on. I didn't have enough self-esteem, think enough of myself, you know. I'm not eligible for that or something. Who knows? But it does tend to be kind of hollow, you know. Go back on. Not too cool.
Yeah, well, let me just tell you point blank, I'm not a romanticist, you know, I really not. The first time I met my old lady Genevieve, I met her through her sister. B walked up, that's all, you know, and I just started talking to her, you know. And that was basically it. I mean, none of this icky poo glamourino, none of that bitch, shit. Hell no. Nah, that wasn't like a TV plot, I'll tell you that. The next thing I know, we had a civil service ceremony, and that was it. No wedding, we didn't have no wedding. What are you, mad? A wedding? I never heard of such a thing. I mean, after you have two children, one 44 and one 34, you know, you have a slightly different perspective on your life, you know, and whatever might have gone down. But as far as that shit like you see on the TV screen, no. Ain't like that.
I mean, Nathan ain't had no pussy in 20 years. The fuck are you talking about, man, to me? Now, I don't know about all them scientific formulas he got in his head. He had no not even sex. He has not even had not even a woman, you know, around, not even near. There's no women, he's never, not a manager, you think he's a sneaker woman? No, not nothing. No. That bitch, I don't know, bitch. Man, come on, man. You're fucking mentally ill, man, when you suppress the natural urges of the human being. You're fucking mentally ill. I'll buy some pussy, man. I'll bitch come right here and suck my dick, man. The fuck, I mean, so what? So what you gonna do? Or something, I mean, nothing. No female contact in 20 fucking years. But he's okay, my man.
We got a disconcerting problem here that my main clerk, Victor, he's leaving. He's been here 19, Victor's been here 19 years. 19 years, and his health is, you know, not the way he'd like. It's like my own. And he figures it's time to make a move. I mean, after 19 years in the same place, I mean, he figures that he has to, you know, try his hand, more or less. He doesn't know whether he'll be successful or not. But nevertheless, he's going to leave. Heck, everybody has to move on. I'm hoping I'll move on myself one of these days. I mean, I put in 12 years here, something like that. Vic put in 19. And I'm of the same opinion as himself. I've had about my fill of this, you know, because it's stressful. I mean, I'm a walking corpse. I just don't know when to lay down, you know?
Yeah, I'm leaving. Been a long time here. I feel like a big weight has been lifted off of me. I could subcontract my little shift tomorrow, but I figure, well, I'll still be here a few days more, so why not put it in?
It's your last shift.
Yep. Remarkable. I honestly had serious doubts, but you know, I really had doubts that I'd ever get away. Now maybe later on I'll regret it. Jeez, you know, wow, missing all kind of money. Christ, how am I gonna make it? I think, come on, any man should have at least some nerve, you know, take a bit of a chance, come on. And it's like they say, enough is enough. You know what I mean?
What was it that made you decide that you want to get the fuck out of here?
Stop using. Period. Stop using. The only reason I'm down here. What the fuck I'm coming down here for? There's drugs down here. 1979, 1980, every bodega sold cocaine, heroin, marijuana, everything. This is drug. That's why the fuck I'm here. So when I stop using, in my mind, there's no reason for me to be here.
This is the first asteroid hit, which I got in my door, which is very unusual because of the angle that the rock hit the door. And it came through the window, and I was sitting, I heard this tremendous bang, and I looked up and there was a rock in my door. I never took it out, you know, because it happened during the time that they discovered this asteroid, you know, that's heading this way. So I called this the first asteroid hit right here in my door. I'm gonna leave it there for a souvenir, you know. It's cute, you know, it's very picturesque.
And some of the guys get carried away. Some of them you have to fight with some of them because some of them get very ignorant, which I'm planning on moving. I want to move soon because I'm getting tired of living here, you know. But with my low income, I can't move nowhere else because housing is very expensive. Sometimes I wish I was rich, you know. Sometimes I wonder, you know. I said, is I'm ever going to still be like this all my life? I don't know. Sometimes I want kids, but I know I can't have none. And when I see a little kid, I love kids. And by me seeing them, and it hurts me because I want a kid so bad, but I can't have none. You know, I wish I could have some. You know, I wish I could.
I went in the Army in September 1954. I liked it. I really did.
I went on KP on Christmas Day, and nobody showed up. And we gave all the food away, you know, in Augusta. And then I went on leave. So during the course of the day, I didn't really eat. And when I got to the train station, I found out the train wouldn't leave until midnight that night. So I says, well, they didn't have restaurants in the train station. So I went to the bus station, you know, to get me my standard favorite, a slice of pineapple cheese pie, coffee, and a hamburger. You know, that's the perfect American meal. And so I went and sat down at the counter, and the lady says, I'm sorry, sir, you can't sit there. So I thought she meant that the seat was busted, you know, so I went and moved over to the next stool, you know. She says, you can't sit there either. So I says, well, where can I sit? She pointed to this door on the right, and she says, through there. I'm from Brooklyn, I went for it. I went and checked the door, And when I opened the door and went through it, I found myself in the yard, in a fucking yard with dirt on the ground. I flew back in the restaurant right in the middle of the floor, and I told everybody, hold up, you know? And I went through my little speech. I said, you mean I can go into the army and get shot up, killed up, and the whole thing? You mean I can't get a cheeseburger in a restaurant? You know, but yet I can actually get killed for you? And the waitress says, I'll call the manager. I said, call your mama. And she called the manager, and the manager must have called the cops. They escorted me to the train station and stayed with me until the train came in, and the train came in at midnight. So since we were below the Mason-Dixon line, you had to ride in the nigger car, you know. And so I went to the nigger car, and there was only one other nigger there besides myself. It was just the two of us. He sat up front like that, and I was sitting all the way in the back, the last seat. And train started off 1:30, 2 o'clock, must have been around that time. 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, the train, or rather the conductor came through, you know, to punch the tickets. And he went through that guy up front first. And I'm looking at him, and I saw, all of a sudden, I see the guys holding up, you know, looked like a ticket, you know, it looked like a ticket to me, you know. And the guy was protesting, you know, whatever. I couldn't hear what they were saying. The guy was protesting. All of a sudden, the conductor reached up, pulled the emergency cord. The train stopped. Snatched this nigga in his collar, dragged him over to the door of the train, opened up the door of the train, and kicked him in his ass out the train. And I didn't realize it until my man hollered, but because it was dark outside, I couldn't see shit. We were on an embankment, a ledge, you know, it might have been a bridge, you know, or whatever, but or a river below that, because I heard that guy, yeah, you know, while it was going down the embankment. I said, holy shit. And the conductor started walking to me. But the conductor came down there and said, good evening, sir. May I have your ticket, please? Took my ticket, punched my ticket, and went on just like nothing happened at all. In other words, I didn't even exist as a witness. You know what I mean? I'm watching this whole scene. I did not exist. He was so nonchalant. The sheriff was telling the conductor, get me a nigger. You know what I mean? This nigga here come in my restaurant and in my town, you know, that kind of thing, the vernacular, you know, come in my town, you know what I mean? Running off his mouth, you know, and hollering and all that stuff, you know. I can't touch him, you know, because he's military. I don't want no problems, you know what I mean? And I don't want nothing coming down to me. Get me a nigger. That's what the conductor did. That nigga paid for me. He threw that nigga off the train because of me. And the conductor knew exactly where to stop the train. The best spot to throw a nigga off the train, down their fucking embankment. And to this day, I don't know whether that guy lived or died, because the conductor pulled a cord again and the train started off. I'll never forget that. That's a hell of an incident. I'll never forget that as long as I live. You know, it was the day after Christmas. Well, you know, because since it was midnight.
You haven't lived until you've been in a flophouse with nothing but one light bulb and 56 men squeezed together on cots, with everybody snoring at once, and some of those snores so deep and gross and unbelievable. Dark, snotty, gross, subhuman wheezings from hell itself. Your mind almost breaks under those death-like sounds and the intermingling odors, hard, unwashed socks, pissed and shitted underwear, and over it all slowly circulating air, much like that emanating from uncovered garbage cans. And those bodies in the dark, fat and thin and bent, some legless, armless, some mindless, and worst of all, the total absence of hope. It shrouds them and covers them totally. It's not bearable. Those men were all children once. What has happened to them, and what has happened to me? It's dark and cold out here.
Heat stroke. Just in the time it took me to say that, it could kill you. Now you ready to go over it again? Heat stroke. In the time it took me to say that, that's how quick it can kill you. You see anything like red skin. See how I'm sweating? I've been sitting here, what, about going on 8, 9 minutes, something like that. Look how I'm still sweating. Look how red my skin still is. You're heating up when you work out against Mother Nature. You do not act foolish with Mother Nature. You do not act foolish with Mother Nature. I am in a superlative aerobic condition and tremendously accustomed to the extremes of Mother Nature. I am walking slower than normal out there. I am drinking lots of water. I drink lots of beer for cooling, but drink lots of water any way you can. If you drink beer, yeah, it does help relax you. Get over the stress and the doggery of trying to deal with that heat constantly. It does relax you. Beer has its use, but you have to drink water. You have to work at it like it was a battle. You have to drink water. And if you drink beer, drink more water.
Where you bleed from his eye? Bleeding from his mouth. Damn.
I'm glad I'm getting off at 1:30 because this place is going to be a madhouse. I'll tell you that.
It's par for the course for the weekend. I see some lights. I don't know if they're coming here. Okay. Here we go. Back in the bathroom.
Just laying on the floor.
He wasn't shaking, nobody saw him.
Yeah, he was shaking. I saw him shaking.
You saw him?
Yeah, when I went in there, he was sitting up and he was doing like that, shaking his head, you know, so I don't know what the hell happened. Let me go.
Don't bother the ambulance. Don't bother.
What?
Now they're gonna fuck around and beat the shit out of him. You know, interfering, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's a piece of work. Really, truly a piece of work. They must be trying to revive him. Well, they ain't gonna do that if he had some heroin, you know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna revive unless they give him a shot.
But as a cashier, I wanted to be a lawyer like I do. You know, you have to go to a special school for that.
Watch out for Tyrone before he knocks you down.
Wow.
Well, you can't expect me to know everything on my first day.
ain't nothing. I got some of that. No. Your good nerve, but I can't talk about my nerve. I don't know nothing about no nerve. That was good, too. Thanks. Therapist for men.
Yeah, walking these stairs is grueling. Fine. I used to be able to run up and down, but not anymore. Those days are gone.
You know this house, sir. I follow.
What goes on up around here?
People live, that's it. They try to survive daily, you know.
All the time you've interviewed Nathan, I mean, I don't know if it's your business to do that or even if you would. Did you ever discuss why him and his wife are not together?
It ended like a TV movie. She moved out in the middle of the night. Took her shit and left mine.
There's all the things that make wholesome living. They fucked that up somewhere. But they deny it, you know? No, I didn't fuck up my wife, just, man, she picked up in the middle of the night. Shit, really? Really, man? I mean, you know, give me a break, man. I would pick up in the middle of the night if you fucked me up, so you had to fuck up, but he won't talk about that. You know, once you take the cherry out of life, once you take your wife or your love or however the cherry, wife ain't nothing, man. It's nothing, man. You're a zero, and you just, everything else you're doing is just fucking around.
I had to make it more simplified. The thing that really holding me back is indebtedness, borrowing money. Which I'm only doing is blowing it around here with boys, you understand what I'm saying? Giving out and everything, playing the good Samaritan, the good guy and whatnot. That's not to say that I'm trying to buy friendship. But I've always had that good tender about me. I had $100 in my pocket when you don't have nothing. Share it with you. Now this is what I got to break away from as of now. Otherwise, I'm not going to get back on the right track. You know why? Because when I blow minds with you, or them, or those, or whoever, then I got to go borrow. Okay? I got to pay interest on this. That's what I'm saying. And that's what's really holding me down like this. When I come to the surface, can't get up.
Moving is a traumatic experience. You move from one's environment to another, that's a shock to your system. It helps to be young. It really helps to be young. Because as a youngster, you can adapt. You can, you can roll with the punches better. But as an oldster, I told Vic, it takes a lot of energy to move, man. Do you have that strength? Do you have that physical strength? Now, the Bowery, no moving vans come up here. In the Bowery, you walk out with what you carry, man. You know, you ain't waiting there. You waiting around for somebody to carry this shit somewhere? Where? What shit? What is this? Nothing, man. It's nothing. I can remember that morning that I left because I got so sharp. You know, I got storage and shit, you know. I've been hip to living in New York. You live in New York, you get you some storage, you join the city gym, fuck the rest of it. You got a place to shower, shave, work out, change your clothes, you got a place to keep your valuables, VCRs, TV. You can't bring that shit up in here. So I did all of that. I covered bases. You know, I covered bases. When I left that room, man, I didn't care what was in that room. It didn't even matter to me. I didn't say I'm coming back because it took a very drastic set of circumstances to get you down here, whoever you are. And it's going to take an equally drastic amount of effort and amount of changes to get away from here. You know, nobody walks away from this. Nobody. Most stay here till they die.
All right. For a year, I worked 15 hours a day. I had time to get up, shit, shower, shave, and shine my teeth, and go out to work. And that's all I had to do, all right? The last 2 months, I had a hard time keeping track of the chores as it was then. The last 2 months, I experimented, a little over 2 months, I experimented with 16 hours a day. Oh, by the way, a year, 15 hours a day, I didn't even get a case of the sniffles. 15 hours a day, I didn't even get a case of the sniffles. It was healthy work. Two main things wrong with my room right now, besides the fact that I'm falling behind in general disorder. Okay, two main things wrong with my room right now. My laundry has built up like hell, and for me to sweep, just to do a simple sweeping, I've got to pull a bunch of shit. Look under my bed. I've got a man's weapon back there I'm storing. He's gone for a while, I'm storing a man's weapon. My room is not in order. It's the worst it's been in my life. What, you wanna come see what I'm about? Yeah, this is my personal lair. This is the lion's lair, so to speak. All right, these are books that I'm just investigating. You want to see the kind of books I read? The Portrait of a Lady, Henry James. Far from the Madding Crowd, White Fang, Jack London. Germinal, Emile Zola. That's the kind of books I read. I got Shakespeare's. You got roach problems. Look at this shit over here. You got roach problems like quitting. They nest in books. I keep every one of my books wrapped in plastic. Of course, I got some pornography. I have lost it on the laundry. This is the way I keep my laundry. I hang it up just to keep it aired. I've lost my laundry. I'm way behind on laundry, so there's a little locker room odor. I got 4 umbrellas in the room. Major tool of my profession. Okay. We got free food coming in here. Of course, I stack it in, stack it up. My drawers, I don't wear them except when I got to walk in public with them. I just put them convenient. We got a battle like hell with cockroaches, bed bugs, you name it, around here. I got to keep a knife handy. I don't carry weapons. But I keep weapons handy that I can kill with, because it will come.
I'm tired of this life. Tired, sickening. Sickening's a lot of money. It costs a lot of money to be a drag queen. You know? I spend a lot of money on my face, my body. It costs a lot of money. I have to buy makeup, everything. You know, it's so expensive. Sometimes I don't even have money for food sometimes. I had my cheeks done. I had my lips falling in. I had my breast implants. I couldn't afford to get it done all at one time, so I had to work on it. I had to work on the breast first, but then I went for my silicone in my face. Then I went back for my arm, my hip, for my boy cuffs in. I had my boy cuffs folded in, and I had my nose job done. I had 2 times. I had a nose job done 2 times. Starting to get tired. I really want to take them out. Sometimes I feel like just taking them out because it's a lot of trouble, you know. In the street, guys always want to stop me. Oh, let me see your titties. Is your titties real? You know, they ask me, is my titties real? You know, some of the guys stop, say, oh, let me feel them, or something like that, and I get very mad at that, you know. So sometimes I want to take them out because there's a lot of trouble in the street for me. You know, certain guys, you know, they don't believe they're real. Oh, let me see if they're real. You know, they want to open my shirt. They want to feel them, play with them. Some guys love them. Some guys, it turns them on, you know. But then I say, no, I just have to, you know, sometimes I grab myself and I just have to say, I can't do this. I can't. Because some guys approach me and sometimes I'll be in a mood for sex.
This man and I met almost 10 years ago. We ain't done nothing but chuckle since. I don't feel like nursemaid, you fucking sour brain motherfucker.
I'm not a sour brain motherfucker. You're a sour brain motherfucker.
One thing you better not ever do is lose touch with us, because you make a lot of good friends.
Filthy ass motherfucker. And you're a drunk motherfucker. You don't know how to drink.
Always try to be there for each other, didn't we?
You darn right. All right.
Get the fuck away from me.
You know, I know. That's one thing we damn sure did get out of the sunshine. We got to be ourselves. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy yourself.
Thank you very much, motherfucker, for stealing $10 off me.
I did not.
And fucking, now fuck you didn't, you asshole. Piece of shit.
I came to the Bowery and I did some things. Man, you are the Bowery. You are the Bowery. A bouncer on the Bowery.
You hear that, Dominic? You're really putting me down now.
You're putting me down, sure.
Essentially, the sky we look to is the past. If a single star were a camera, it would have recorded the very advent of man and his world. Yet we wouldn't see the picture until tomorrow, or maybe never. The only events we can determine in relative real time are those of our sun and moon. Picture this, if a guy took a leak on the sun, we wouldn't see the event of the steam until 9 minutes later. The moon, a little over a second. The closest object found outside our own. A little bit of levity, you know. I just somehow felt that she had a particular insight, you know, to what I was writing. And in other words, I was venting my mind. And in fact, when Miss Lindstrom left NBC, I had written her a letter mentioning the fact that I would like to continue writing to her using her name rather than, you know, switch over to somebody. I wasn't about to do that. Switch over to this person or that person, you know. No, please. During the course of the number of years of correspondence, I don't know, I seem to have been spread around the channels, you know, like the latest gossip, you know? In other words, at one point, I could look at the television set and I could tell, in fact, I never wrote those things down, but I meant to, and I just never got around to it. But I could tell when another channel was informed of my letters, you know, and I could tell that immediately. Of course, now they inform each other as a matter of course, with the exception of Channel 13. Channel 13 started in the game, but Channel 13 dropped out, and I could tell when they dropped out, you know. But they started in the game themselves. I mean, every single channel, you know, were putting in their 2 cents on this thing, you know.
All right, this is my domain. Slightly larger than a foxhole. You got to worry about nobody firing at you.
It's a lot neater and cleaner than most of the ones I've seen.
Of course. Consider who's living here. If I got to live in a swamp, I can deal with it. I slept in mud before and all that shit. But I did it for a reason. It was a cause.
This one is official, so let me take my time. I have committed some minor crimes in my past. Younger days. I got in a few fights with some officers. I told you about my revolutionary days. On this particular occasion, I was in a particular state that is heavy on prejudice. My best friend was a minority. I used to brag about this man. He was about that high on me. I'm a short man myself. He was about that high on me. A bowling ball of a man, no blubber. I used to put my hands around his wrist, just like that, and the ends of my fingers would go about halfway around his wrist. Hard-working minority, and he swung that mop like hell. I used to brag about that man. Best friend of my life up till the instant. I give him a few $100s. I said, don't pay me back, keep it. And he acted embarrassed about it. So I took him out to a bar, minority bar. We were drinking minority drinks. His wife had since, we were both heavy drinkers. His wife had since came and got us before the night was over. On the way back, I bought us a case of beer. We get back to his house. We're sitting there drinking the beer, just rapping, talking. All right. I did one of them, not quite passed out, but I did one of them nods back, you know, get my mind off of everything kind of things. I felt something in my pocket, but I didn't pay any attention to it for a second or two. I come to, I go feel in my pocket, my money's gone. I said, I lost some money back at the bar. I'm going back to the bar and see if I can figure it out. Trying to give him an eye. I knew he took it. He jumped on me with a lock like that and started breaking my damn neck. The only thing I could do, I didn't know a couple of tricks. I twisted around his grip, and I got my hands on the wall, and I used the wall as leverage and broke his grip. And I started coming back at him. He ran out of the house. Now, he knew where the guns were. I didn't. He had guns in his car, and I know he went for the guns. He'd already tried to kill me. All I could do was go to the back of the house to the kitchen, get a knife. That man was a deadly shot who had already blown many people away. He had already robbed me. He had already tried to kill me. I knew he wasn't going to come back and marquee to Queensberry with me. If I let him come in the door and just draw a bead on me, I was dead. He had curtains hanging down right by his door, front door. I said, fire his curtains to make a smoke screen. So I'd have a little cover just to, if you know anything about a gun, draw your gun and try and shoot me. Draw your gun and try and shoot me. Draw your gun, draw your gun, try and shoot me. Go ahead, draw your gun, try and shoot me. Okay, what I was trying to do was get a little bit of cover for a split second to get inside of his gun barrel range. It got to the point on the fire, he hesitated long enough, I couldn't get to him any faster than he could get to me. So I went outside. I sat in his front yard, down like this with that damn knife. I felt like I was dead at that point. Immediately, the firemen showed up. I thought they were brave. I said, they asked me, they said, did you set this fire? I said, yes, I did. There's a man out here and we're trying to kill each other. Watch yourselves, he's got a gun. I mean, right behind him, here comes this rookie cop. I'm sitting there with a knife that damn long. He comes standing up. I got that damn knife that far from his belly. I already know I can handle his gun. He stands there, drop the knife, I'm gonna blow your head away. You know, and shit like that, you know. I said, go ahead, I ain't got nothing to lose. There's a man out there fixing to kill both of us, and you're blocking my defense. And I knew that fool was gonna get both of us killed. So I finally threw my knife down and said, I don't want to kill anybody. He asked me very politely if I would go over to the car. The only thing that showed up in that damn courtroom out of that confession, I set the fire. The judge lied, the DA lied, they appointed my defense lawyer, wouldn't let me change him, he lied, he didn't check on a damn thing. They picked the jury, I didn't have anything to say about the jury, and they tried for 35 fucking years at my damn ass with parole for the rest of my life, and they're already railroading me. I'm out for life. And the jury had preset instructions to convict me. They kept telling me, said, don't open your damn mouth. Fuck you, I opened my damn mouth. I had that jury in such a hurry to make sure they obeyed their instructions to convict me. They came back with the first conviction they could, the minimum, 6 years. I get out on parole. Do you know how hard it is for an ex-con to get a job, especially right out of the pen? I kept coming in with job opportunity, and my parole officer kept blocking me. I finally confronted her. I said, what the fuck do you want me to do? I'm getting job opportunities. Why do you keep blocking them? She told me in these words. She said, I am going to violate you. No, would send me away for life just because she felt like it. I am going to violate you just because we feel like it. I went back to my room. I thought a little while. Got on the phone, called that parole officer. Got the phone operator. She can't be reached. Get that damn woman on my phone. I'm going to talk that one. I left that parole officer with these words. I said, it's time for the oppression to stop, or it's time for people to start dying. I bluffed her. She knew it was going to reflect on her record.
When everybody is fired, I'm fired. I seen a lot of bodies go down. I don't know if it was my bullet, hit them on theirs. I don't know. I know they was firing back at us. I kind of liked it. That's why I read up. You see, once you get it in your blood, you don't care. Now, one thing I thought about, I ain't going to jail as long as I don't get captured. You see what I mean? The only thing I feared when I was over there was to become a POW. Because I know what happens to those boys. I didn't give a damn about killing a motherfucker. I don't give a damn about doing it now. The only thing that make me think is that I know if I do it here, I'm going to jail. You see, Sam can't back me up no more because I'm a civilian. I'm not fighting for the United States belief and rights any damn more. I did my job, my killing day's over. But if I'm pushed against the goddamn wall, I'll show you some experience.
I don't find myself in the common mold of interest, you know, that I would see, that one would see. And as a consequence, I see things a little differently than the other person. I don't quite see things the same way. I have a different perspective of things that I see. And that makes things difficult. I think in very simplistic terms, you know. You wake up in the morning, you eat breakfast, and you breathe in and out for the rest of the day, you know, and that's it, you know. And at night, you eat dinner, you go to bed, and perhaps you'll wake up the next day if you don't croak during the meantime. You know, it's simple, you know. But unfortunately, things have turned out not to be so simple.
I thought you were determined to go.
You thought I was, some others thought I was, I thought I was, so a person can change his mind. Been screwing up for a long time. Well, you expect me to stop now? Seems to be my stop. I figure leaving would be a more sensible course. I've been screwing up right along, so what do you expect?
Why do you think guys like Nathan want to stay here?
Well, here's how it goes, man, with Nathan. And I'm antisocial, so I know what that whole thing is. Nathan worked. He worked, he supported a family, he raised children, he went through the whole scene. But Nathan also used drugs. Now, when you begin using drugs, I mean to the point not of experimenting or partying, when you begin to use drugs, that changes you. You become a person that you know society will not accept you. You can't nod out at the meeting. You can't nod out. And as Nathan went off into that type of thing, being unacceptable was very foreign to him. He was never unacceptable because he's a very personable person. He's knowledgeable, he's the kind of person you want to be around. Hey, Nate, let's go hang out. It's like creating a reality for yourself. Now, how can you do that and get away with it? You stay in this building. You never go in the street. Because if you go in the street, you're going to get reinforcement for the things you do, the way you carry, the things you say. So you stay here for 15 years, you weave your reality. I'm a great inventor. I'm writing Pia Lindstrom for 15 years. Never got any answers, but here they go. And the Secret Service is after me because my inventions are so correct. They know ain't no nigga supposed to have this shit, and you know what I'm saying? I learned paranoia from smoking crack. When you smoke crack, because crack is really down, you hide when you smoke crack. When you go somewhere and enclose yourself, you no longer get the natural feedback that people get. I hear things. I see Bruce moving around. I see you come in. We talk. Those are normal feedbacks too. When I lock myself in a room, pull down the shades, block out the fucking crack in the door, I don't get any response. And so my mind just revolves around its own shit. And you get paranoid. Now, your paranoia would be relieved if you just walk outside. But the paranoia tells you, don't walk outside. So you get like Vic. You stay in your room. You build your room around you with stacks of racing forms and fucking menus from the Chinese restaurant and letters you don't open and packages and clothing, and it insulates. You begin to get like into the womb. You go back to the womb. It's safe in the womb. It's safe. It's all about safety. How can I get into safety? But it's not. Your rational mind will take you to safety. But your irrational mind will not. It'll just run. It'll just run away. Period. You know, and so Nathan just ran away.
My brother, he's a tax lawyer for the state of California, and he wants me to come out there. I mean, he'd gladly have me. In fact, I could leave this very minute and go out to California, but I've been independent too long, you know. I'm 62 years old, and I'm not ready to retire. I mean, even though I'm a corpse in a corpse-like condition, I'm not ready to retire, you know what I mean? I'm ready to go to work somewhere, but not in another hotel. I mean, this is a little bit too stressful, you know. My daughter now, I would love to go out and stay with my daughter, but my daughter, you gotta understand, she doesn't, I can detect, she doesn't really want daddy invalid there, you know what I mean? To be quite frank with you, I really don't like going to a state that shakes, you know what I'm saying? I'm really reluctant about that. I mean, you can get used to it. If you're born in California, I'm quite sure you get used to that sort of thing. But I don't think so. You know, I really don't think so. You really need these places because actually there's no place in Manhattan where you can live for $70 a week. These kinds of hotels have certain difficulties with the population because you get all kinds of people here. Anything from murderers, dope addicts, thieves, robbers, the whole 9 yards. I've had a number of murderers here, you know.
I feel like if I have to spend the rest of my days here and they could make my room a little better, like, say, for instance, a paint job, which I haven't had in 15 years. Okay, if this is where I'm going to end up with, and this is where my life has got to be, okay, I would accept. I would accept it because I have no other means. I ain't able to get around like I used to anymore, so here I got to end up, this is where I have to be, I guess. Unless they put me in a home. So I get my pension now for the rest of my life. I'm set for that now. Till God take me off this earth. And that's me, my whole blue life. Sounds funny, but this is the whole thing.
But now I'm feeling more strong about myself, to pull myself up and to be able to deal with what's coming towards me. Before I was so weak, I used to get so weak, I used to go back out to the street and start getting high and carrying on and stuff, you know? But now I'm strong, I'm being able to be strong to stand up, you know, to deal with the problems that I have. Because being like this is a very rough life. You know, it's a very lonely life too. You know, I be lonely a lot. I stay lonely. You know, some people don't want to be around me because I'm like this. You know, a lot of my friends, you know, but I try to stay to myself, you know? But one day I'm gonna make it, you know? Just by the grace of God. God's gonna pull me through it. I know He is.
If you look back and you say to yourself, what could I have done again, or what the one thing that stands out?
Good question, I anticipated.
What do you regret the most, I suppose?
Becoming distorted, obviously.
What's your regret?
Yeah, I would have preferred to be more normal, like, you know, like a person should be. I believe so. But then again, can I be sure? Can I even trust myself? Or am I lying to myself as well as you?
I've got a little information to be useful to people impoverished. I don't want fame or fortune. That's baggage to me. I'm a simple, fluid man. I'm very ambitious, but not about those kind of things. I think I found something like King Solomon's mine, and I'm not interested. But it would be a jewel for impoverished people. It's right in front of me. Not only is everything possible, it's right in front of you. Just be willing to do the work. It starts to happen. And I'm going to put in some kind of work like they can't resist. That's my future. That's my future. I'm going to follow the want ads to the top. That's my future.
My life as now is like a seesaw. It's up and it's down. And only until I decide to make up my mind that I want it to stay central, and I'm going to move up to get back where I belong. And I tell you something, sorry I lost it. I missed it. But you know something that makes me smile like I'm smiling now? I know how to get it back. And I'm going to get it back. And I'm working on it now. Just a matter of time. Get it all back. Like they say, old soldiers never die, they fade away. You know?
So what would you say your greatest dream is?
I don't really have any. I don't have an ego. I really don't. I don't have an ego. I think that saved me in a lot of ways by not having an ego. You know, I don't go into that to the histrionics of dreams.
Where would you like to be in 5 years' time?
Alive. That's a good question. That's damn good. That's damn good. Yeah, but alive, point blank. Alive. Yep. That's really where I would like to be. Yeah. But I used to be able to hold a tune, but not anymore. My friend don't understand me. Wow. My friend don't know my name. But I'm still the same old man I've always been. Maybe it's because of what I'm in. I won't even try that anymore. No, that's just, I can't carry the notes. I can't carry the notes at all.